Hi everyone, let's start lying down. So bring yourselves comfortably onto your mat, and you can take your arms and legs however you like. Close your eyes and allow your body to settle down into the floor. And when it feels appropriate, take a big inhale through your nose and a big sigh out through your mouth. And you can do this another couple of times. And then start to find a steady breath, long inhales and long exhales. And see if you can guide your breath all the way down towards your lower back. And then extend your exhale to make it a little bit longer. And as you're taking these longer breaths, find softness around your eyebrows, forehead, and jaw. And anywhere else where you might tend to hold on to any tension or any gripping in your body. And then take one more breath. And then begin by bringing your knees into your chest. Give them a squeeze and gently start to rock from side to side or make circles. Whatever feels intuitive to get your body moving today. And then keep hold of your right knee, stretch your left leg away and pull your right knee up towards your right shoulder. You can let your left foot rest on the floor, but really kick out through your heels so all the muscles start to engage up your left leg. Tuck your chin and draw your tailbone down towards the floor. And then pull your knee into your chest for one more breath. And then keep hold of your knee with your left hand and roll all the way over towards your left side. So your knee comes towards the floor and then reach back out with your right hand. Turn your head to look towards the right. And then now try and guide your breath into your right side. One more breath. And then make your way back to the middle. Take a moment to readjust your spine. Give both knees a squeeze in. And then keep hold of your left knee. Stretch your right leg away. And then pull your knee up towards your shoulder. Kick out actively through your right heel. Make sure your shoulders are tucked under. And then we're working for space up the spine. So tuck your chin. And also draw your tailbone down to the floor as you squeeze your knee towards your left shoulder. Take one more breath. And then roll all the way to your right. And reach all the way back to your left. So now you can breathe into your left ribs, really taking in as much air as you can. Let's take one more breath. And then make your way back to the center. Readjust your spine. Give your knees a squeeze again. This time take them wide and make big circles. One way and then the other way. And then bring your knees, feet and shins together. Point your toes. Hold on to the backs of your knees and start to gently rock forwards and backwards until you have enough momentum to come up and hold boat pose, Navasana. Feet in line with your knees, arms extended. Open your chest. See if you can breathe into your chest. Draw your lower back long. So you're trying to extend from out of your waist. And so you don't want to be rounding your back. If you feel you're rounding, then hold your knees. Take one more breath. And then cross at your ankles and bring yourself over onto all fours, or you can make yourself get yourself there however feels comfy. Spread your fingers. Get your knees under your hips, your wrists under your shoulders. Bring your right arm forward, but stay up on your fingertips. Tuck your left toes and stretch your leg out behind. So hold this posture for a moment, noticing your right knee and left hand taking a little bit more weight. And if you want to now, you can start to slowly reach your fingertips and your toes away from the floor, extending your arm forward and your leg back. Reach all the way forward with your fingertips, kick all the way back with your right heel. Draw in your belly, tuck your chin into your chest, keep pushing down into your left hand and your right knee. One more breath, holding really steady. Good, and then bring your right hand down, your left knee down. Tuck your right toes, slide your left hand forward. Come up onto your left fingertips, and you can keep your right toes down. Take a breath here as you really establish weight going into your left knee and your right hand. You can always get some extra padding if it's too much on your knee. And then start to slowly reach your right heel back, your left fingertips forward, and stretch. Push into your right hand. So we're focusing here on the connection with the earth. So you're pushing into your hand and your knee, all the stabilizing muscles working to keep you in place, but try and hold as still as you can. One more breath. Good, bring your left hand down, your right knee down, and then open your chest for a cat and cow. Lift up your chin, tailbone high. As you exhale, round your back, tuck your chin, hollow out your belly. Two more. Inhale, draw your heart forward, tailbone up to the sky. Exhale, round. Try and move with your breath. Inhale, forwards and upwards. Exhale, back, tuck your chin. And then come back to a tabletop spine. Spread your fingers, tuck your toes, lift your tailbone up to the ceiling, and come into downward facing dog. Take your time to move around in the posture. Pedal out your heels. Spread your fingers, spread your toes. You can move side to side, forwards and backwards. Let your head dangle as you draw your heart towards your thighs. Heels down to the floor. It's always fine to have a little soft bend in your knee. Good. And then we'll make that tent shape again with the right fingertip. So tip your way over into your left hand. Slightly more weight comes into your left foot. You can lift your right heel high and come onto the fingertips of your right hand. So you're bearing more weight in your left hand and your left foot. Keep your fingertips on the floor. Lift your right foot off the floor. Lift it high, coming into a kind of cross between a plank, side plank and a three-legged dog. And then if you feel comfortable, make sure you're very strong through your left hand and your left foot. You might want to hover your right hand off the floor. Just a couple of millimeters. And then slowly come back down. Pull your way over into your right hand and your right foot. Lift up so you're on the fingertips of your left hand. And you've lifted your left heel. Pull your way into the right side. You might be staying here. Push the floor away, so you still want that down dog shape. Start by lifting your left foot off the floor. Point your toe, lift it high. More weights in your right hand, so you could lift your left hand off if you wanted to. You don't have to take it very far away. One more breath. This is building strength through the right arm. One more breath. And then slowly bring your leg down, your arm down. Let your head go. Bring yourself forward into a high plank, shoulders over your wrist. Push into your hands, pop down your knees. Bend your elbows and lower yourself down onto your front. Untuck your toes, open your chest for a baby cobra. Draw your chest forward, back of the neck is long, point your toes. Heart comes forwards and upwards. Feel your glutes switching on. Take another inhale. Exhale, lower your forehead down towards the floor. Push into your hands, come over your knees, tuck your toes, and come back to Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. And then look forward, soften your knees. You can step, walk, or jump your feet towards the top of your mat. Heel toe your feet so they're about as wide as your hips. Of course, you can adjust if any other position feels best. Then come into a ragdoll. So let your head hang. You can take opposite elbows, tip your weight side to side. Any movement goes here, but you really want to be lengthening the front of your body over your thighs. And then release your arms, tuck your chin, slowly roll up to standing. Keeping your shoulders round, your chin tucked until you get to the very top. When you get to the top, make some big circles with your shoulders. And then take a moment, spread your toes, feel your feet on the mat. Have a bit of buoyancy in your knees as well. On your next inhale, spread your arms out to the side, look up to the ceiling, open your chest. Stick out your tail as you exhale, lengthen, fingertips down towards the floor. Let your head go. Take a breath in, come up halfway, flatten your back and lengthen your front. Set your hands down, step, walk or jump to your plank and lower down. Option to drop knees or you can go with straight legs. As you inhale, really draw your heart forward, your shoulders back, cobra or up dog. And then exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, down dog. Spread your fingers, push the floor away, let your head go. Feel all 10 fingertips on the mat. And here again, try and guide your breath into the back of your ribs, as low down as you can get it. Good, and then look forward, soft knees, step, walk or lightly jump your feet to your hands. Breathe in as you come up halfway. Breathe out as you fold over your legs. Stretch through your arms, reach up tall, open your heart, look to the sky. Let's do one more just like that. Exhale, lengthen forward, fingertips down to the floor. Breathe in to find a halfway lift. As you breathe out, step, walk or jump to your plank and go through your vinyasa. And then as you exhale, we'll come to downward facing dog. Take a few steady breaths, remembering you can always pop down your knees or rest in child's pose if you prefer. Breathe deeply for one more breath. And look forward, soften your knees. Step, walk or lightly jump your feet to your hands. Come up halfway as you inhale. As you exhale, fold over your legs. From here, bend your knees, lift your arms, Utkatasana, chair posture. Tip your weight back into your heels, lift your toes. We're going to take 3 breaths here. Tuck your tailbone under, open your chest, but try and draw your lower ribs in a little bit. Tip your weight to your heels. Take another breath. And exhale, dive forward for your standing forward fold. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, step, walk or jump to your plank here through a vinyasa, remembering these are all optional. And then we'll wait in downward facing dog. Take a big breath in and a big sigh out. On your next inhale, lift up your right foot, touch the sky with your big toe, look forwards, and then place your foot towards the top of your mat, drop your left heel, and let's come up to warrior one. Feel your connection with the ground, spread your toes. Imagine the soles of your feet getting bigger. In warrior one, the traditional alignment is your chest square over your front knee. As always, if anything doesn't feel like it's strengthening or increasing flexibility, please adjust so that it feels okay in your body. One more breath. Keep your legs as they are and then reach behind. Interlock your fingers and open your chest so you're drawing your heart forward, lifting your arms up and away. Take a breath to look up and create as much space opening in your chest as you can. And then as you exhale, hinge forward for humble warrior. So you're bringing your body down to the left side of your right leg. And then you're trying to reach your knuckles up to the sky and then bring them over your head. If your balance is okay, let your head hang. So you're drawing your chin into your chest, eye line towards your left inner thigh. Take one more breath. And then push down with your feet to bring yourself all the way back up. And we'll open out into warrior two. Turn your head to look towards your right hand. You can always adjust your back foot so that your little toe side of your foot is parallel with the back edge of your mat. Shoulders are soft, but legs are really engaged. What is your breath doing? Turn your right hand so the palm faces the sky. Use your inhale to reach up and back. Keep your right knee bent. Stretch up your right side. Turn your chest towards the ceiling. Take another inhale. And then as you exhale, we're going to windmill the arms. Place them either side of your front foot. Carefully step back to your plank and lower yourself down. Inhale for up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a steady breath in and out. And then lift your left leg on your next inhale. Try and touch your big toe to the ceiling. Push your chest towards your thigh. Look forward with control. Bring your left foot as close as you can between your hands. Ground down your right heel and come into Virabhadrasana 1. Swizzle your chest so it's square over your left knee. Lift up out of your waist, out of your lower back. And then feel your feet spread on your mat. Can you soften your jaw any more? Can you soften the space between your shoulders? Keep your legs really strong. Reach your hands behind, interlock fingers, open chest, breathe in. And then breathe out, bringing your body over, coming down the inside of your left leg. Knuckles up to the sky, and then reach up and over. Let your head dangle, maybe even draw your chin in. Keep your connection with your mat really strong. One more breath. And then lead with your chest. Bring yourself up. And we'll open out, into warrior two. You can always adjust your feet so that you're finding strength in the posture. Look towards your left hand. Feel your feet on the mat. Feel strong and connected with your breath. And then turn your left palm to face the sky. With control, bring your hand up and over, right hand down your back. Keep your front knee deeply bent and breathe into your left ribs. Last breath. And on an exhale, windmill your hands, set them either side of your front foot. Step to your plank, lower yourself down. Open your chest, inhale. And then exhale, we'll take a few breaths, 3 or 4 breaths here in down dog, or perhaps child's pose. Drop your knees, bum to heels, forehead on the floor. See what you need right now. The main focus is deep breaths in. So we're focusing on breathing right into the back of the ribs, the lowest part of the back of your lungs. Take one more breath. If you took child's pose, make your way back up to downward facing dog. Look forward, soften your knees, step, walk or jump your feet to your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Utkatasana, chair posture, arms to the sky, tip your weight into your heels, draw long through your front body. Tuck your tailbone under, shoulders are soft, sink your hips, 2 more breaths. And then straighten your legs. Find a little bit of a back bend, and then bring your hands down either side. Take your time to make some big circles with your shoulders forwards and backwards, and then step your legs wide. Turn your toes in. Bring your hands to your hips, open your chest. Again, a bit of buoyancy, bounciness in your knees. Scoop your tailbone out, untuck it, and then come forwards. Hands towards the floor, let your head go. Tip your weight out of your heels. Shoulders, again, give them a wiggle so you know you're not gripping. Focus on breathing a little deeper and also bringing the weight out of your heels slightly. At the same time, tailbone up to the sky. One last breath. Bring your hands to your hips. Lead with your chest. Come all the way up. Take a moment, check that your toes are still turned in. Reach your hands behind, interlock your fingers, stretch your arms away. Look up, tip your tailbone back as you then lengthen forward for Prasarita Padottanasana. You want the feeling you're lifting your arms, your shoulders away from the socket and then drawing them over, squeezing your shoulder blades together. Last breath. And then push down through your feet, lead with your chest to bring yourself back up to standing. Release your arms, give everything a shake, flick out your fingers if you feel lightheaded. Good, and we'll come into, remember that at the beginning on all fours we had one arm forward and one leg back. So it's similar to that, except we're having hands on hips instead of in front. So we'll start off with the left foot behind. Bring your hands onto your hips. We're going to do a warrior 3 variation. So start to draw your chest forward. Lift your left leg. And then start to become a capital T shape. So you're lifting up. You can either flex or point your left foot. And then if you feel ready and comfortable, start to also reach your right arm forward. So the thumb is pointing up to the ceiling. Stretch your fingers away from your heel. Try and square your chest to the floor, but lift your left toes a little higher. One more breath. And then with control, soften back to your standing position. Place your left foot back next to your right. Give your right leg a shake. You can shake out your arms as well. And then let's prepare for the other side. So step your right foot back, so you're balancing just on the tips of your right toes. Bring your hands to your hips. Start to slowly lever forward as if your body is one straight line, so you can't allow yourself to ripple or wave about. Make sure that your lifted leg is straight, so lock your knee, flex your foot. So I'd rather your leg was straight and lower than bent and kind of out of control. And then if you've got your balance, maybe then start to reach your left arm forward. Thumb to the sky, stretch from your left fingers to your right toes. Feel your connection with the floor. Take 2 more breaths. If you've fallen out, come straight back in. Good, and then slowly make your way back. Give it all a shake about. Good. And then come to the top of your mat. Hands by your sides. Inhale, reach up, look to the sky, ground down through your feet. Exhale, dive forward, fingertips towards the floor. Come up halfway, inhale. As you exhale, set your hands, step, walk or jump to your plank. There's time to go through a vinyasa, or you can always wait in down dog. And then let's come to pigeon. So lift your right big toe up to the sky and then start to come forwards into pigeon with your right knee out to the side, your left foot back, both feet pointed. As always, you can always do the flipped over version, lying on your back, making a figure 4 shape with your legs and arms, and doing that variation if it feels nicer on your knee or ankle, or if you're working with any reason to do it that way. Take a moment to really create length in the front of your body and check that you haven't collapsed down to the right. So if anything, you're drawing more over to your left, so perhaps your right bum cheek is off the floor. Make sure that you're supported. It's quite nice to rest your head on a block or on your piled up fists, or perhaps it can reach the floor as long as you can completely let go. And then we're going to take 5 long breaths. So on these breaths, I want you again to breathe into the lowest part of your back, where you can feel your lungs expanding. And then try and extend your exhales. One more breath. And then slowly, if you're in this version, coming up onto your hands. If you're lying on your back, simply swapping sides. Carefully bring yourself up. There's time, as always, if you want to keep your energy up, to go through a vinyasa, but make sure you give your right hip a little bit of a release. And then whenever you're ready, lifting your left leg up and coming into your pigeon on the other side. Setting up your joints, ankles, hips and knees, untucking your right toes. Making your way forwards, taking any position with the upper body where you can let go completely. And then again, 5 breaths. Really try and get the air right down into the lowest part, the back of your lungs, so your lower ribs at the back. And make your exhale longer. One more breath. And then carefully up onto your hands, Wherever you are, wherever you've been, make your way so that you're sitting on your bum with your legs out in front of you for Dandasana, staff posture. Untuck your glutes, flex your feet. Remember, you can add blocks underneath. You can bend your knees. Sit up really tall, look towards your big toes. Back of your neck is long. Try and lift up so the muscles in the back of your bodies are switched on. Take one more full breath in. A really big breath out. And then let's come forwards into Paschimottanasana. So try and work towards the front of your body being long. You can always soften your knees. Make as much length as you can, drawing your heart forward. You might feel those back muscles really engaged. And then let your arms come anywhere where they land. And then you can round as you come forwards. Try and keep your feet flexed so the muscles up the backs of your legs are engaged as you're stretching them. And that's more beneficial in the long run for creating more flexibility. Find a position for your neck that's comfortable. You can always move around if you prefer to. And again, we'll take 5 breaths here. And if you can, again, try and get the breath into your back. So the reason I'm saying this is because the part of your lungs, the lowest part, the back of your lungs, is where more oxygen is taken in. So it's actually the part of your lungs that expands, that can expand the most. And also there are more of the little villi, can't remember, that absorb the oxygen. And so often we just breathe into the top bit. So you can really guide your breath into your back. Take 2 more breaths. And when you finish your exhale, take your time to bring yourself back up to seated. Bring your right leg into your left thigh. Take your left leg a little bit out to the side. Swizzle slightly from your waist so you're facing over your left leg. Once again, we're starting off by creating length. You can do whatever you like with your arms to facilitate an open chest. And then as you hinge forward, you can either kind of use your leg as a tow rope to bring yourself forward. And then melt over your left leg, shoulders away from your ears, finding a position in your upper body where you're not creating tension. Left foot stays flexed, same rules apply in this one. Keep the muscles engaged as you stretch them, it's double whammy. And then take 4 more full breaths into your lower back ribs. And then when you finish your exhale, carefully make your way up. We're going to come into a twist from here, so keep your legs exactly as they were, right leg in, left leg extended. Take your left hand across to your right knee, and then take your right hand behind you. Lift up tall, and then twist from your waist to look over your right shoulder. You can use your left arm as a lever to help get a little bit more of a deep twist. Keep your left heel flexed. 1 more breath. And then come back to the middle and we'll change sides. Right leg in, left leg straight. Little bit of an angle. Make sure your body is over the leg. Lift up tall, come forward with length, with an active upper back. And then let go. Find that softness. Don't be afraid to round once you've come forward. It's very, it's sort of the dance aspect and ballet background in Ashtanga. They do the very open chest, everything flat. If you're working with lengthening your hamstrings, allow yourself to round. Don't worry at all. And then we're taking 4 full breaths. Keep your foot flexed. Last breath. Use an inhale to bring yourself up. We'll come into the twist, so keep your legs as they are. Bring your right arm onto your left knee or thigh. Left hand behind you. Make sure you peel your shoulder back. Lift tall and twist. Turn your head. Keep kicking out through your right heel. Take one more breath. Good, and then come back to the middle. Give your legs a release, so wiggle the knees, the ankles, the hips, and then bring the soles of your feet together for Baddha Konasana. Hold onto your feet any way you like so that you can draw your spine tall. Let your knees open out to either side, and you can help them by engaging the muscles to draw your knees further down to the floor. Use your arms to draw your spine straight. Make sure your shoulders are further back than your chest. And then perhaps you're hinging forward, perhaps you're sitting upright. See what feels best today. Chin draws into chest. Scoop up your lower belly. Try and get more length in the front and back of your body. And then once you've found a position where you feel like you're getting that stretch, take 4 big breaths into the back of your body and slowly exhale. And then use your inhale to carefully bring yourself back up. Draw your knees back together. Straighten out your legs. Again, windscreen wiper your ankles. And then bring yourself to the front of your mat, knees bent. Take your elbows around your knees, hold opposite elbows, round your back, lift your feet up off the floor. So you want to be opening up the back of your body, tucking your chin, and then hanging or balancing on your sit bones. If that's really uncomfortable in your coccyx, then you can tip forwards, but we're really working on finding that roundness in the upper back. One more breath. And then release the grip, let yourself lie down, bring your knees with you, take some gentle rocking from left to right, and then plant your feet on the floor for a back bend. We'll just do one back bend today, so your choice of how intense you want to make it. The closer into your bum your feet are before you begin, the deeper your back bend will be. Make your choice, push down through your feet, lift your coccyx, tailbone, middle back, upper back off the floor, shuffle your shoulders under. Maybe you're interlocking or bringing your hands underneath. We're going to take 5 breaths wherever you end up. Make sure you're grounding down through your feet, engaging your inner thighs like you're gripping a brick. And give your glutes an extra squeeze. They're already working, but give them a little bit more to help with your back bend. One more long breath. And then lift up your heels, release your arms, roll down. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Last thing to come down will be your tailbone. And then let your heels drop and rock your knees right and left a couple of times. And then give your knees a squeeze, lift your head up, try and touch your knees to your nose and your nose to your knees. And then take hold of your feet for a happy baby. Knees are wide. Feet pointing, the soles of your feet up to the sky. You can continue rocking side to side here. But at the same time, try and peel your tailbone down to the floor. Shoulders are soft, so you can give them a bit of movement so you know that you haven't clenched up your chest and your shoulders. Tuck in your chin. And take 3 more breaths. And then from here, take your feet up towards the ceiling. You can stay right here for 10 breaths. You can take your legs up the wall or onto an item of furniture, or come into shoulder stand. As always, if you've got other inversions in your practice, please feel free if you can do it on your own, unassisted. Feet up in the air. And once you've found a position you can hold, we're staying there for 8 or 9 breaths. And if you want to, if you're in a shoulder stand, you can bring yourself over to plough, feet towards the floor or maybe on the floor behind you. If you don't need your arms, you can interlock your fingers and reach them away. And then very slowly start to bring yourself out wherever you've been when meeting, lying down, preparing for fish posture. So if you're unrolling, continue to take your time and know that when you finish unrolling, you'll be sitting on your hands, legs extended, toes pointed. Tuck your elbows under. Push up into your forearms, puff out your chest, and let your head drop back. Keep your toes pointed and your feet together. Open out through your chest. Take 1 more breath. And then make your way onto the back of your head. Release your arms. Give your knees a squeeze in. Lift your nose up to your knees. And then we'll take the twist we began with. So hug your right knee in, stretch your left leg away. Use your left hand to guide your knee over. Reach back out with your right arm and turn your head. Take 1 more breath. And then back to the center. Take your time. Make sure you've allowed your spine to straighten out. And then hug in your left knee. Stretch your right leg away. Roll over to the right. Reach back out to the left. Turn your head. One more breath. And then slowly come back to the center. Once again, take your time to adjust, make your spine straight from top to bottom. If it feels intuitive, your body needs it, give your knees another squeeze in. Maybe rock your back if you need it. And then find a comfortable position to end your practice, Shavasana, making sure that you'll be warm and comfortable for the next few minutes, finding a position where you can fully let go. And then once you're comfortable, close your eyes. Take a big inhale through your nose. Big sigh out through your mouth. And do this another couple of times. And then let your breath return to a natural, steady rhythm. And allow your body to completely release into the floor. Making sure that there is no gripping or tension anywhere in your body, particularly around your lower belly, lower back. Maybe around your heart space. Find a sense of complete surrender, complete letting go. Releasing your throat, your tongue, in and around your mouth, nose, cheeks, ears, eyes, eyebrows, temples, forehead, the whole of your scalp completely relaxed. And then start to become aware of the steady rise and fall of your breath. Try and keep your attention on where you can feel your breath in your body. And now start to deepen your breath. And begin to make tiny movements, wiggling your fingers and your toes. Start to bring your body back to life. Making whatever movements you like, stretching or maybe curling in. And gradually making your way up to a seated position, either kneeling or cross-legged. Whenever you get to the top, close your eyes. Sit up nice and tall. Let your palms rest against each other. Allow your mouth to form a smile. And take your hands up to your forehead for loving thoughts, to your mouth for loving words, and to your heart for a loving heart. Thank you so much.